I used to work at a local TV station that aired children's shows, including Peppa Pig. My job was to check and schedule episodes before they went live, making sure everything was appropriate for broadcast. One day, while sorting through some old files, I came across a folder titled Unaired Episodes. Inside, there was just one file. Peppa Pig Red Muddy Puddles. MP4. I thought it was odd. There had been no notes or any indication that this episode was supposed to be restricted. Curiosity got the better of me, and I clicked play. The episode started like any other, with the upbeat theme song playing. But something was off. The colors seemed darker, more muted. The characters' eyes looked dull and empty. The title card appeared, reading Red Muddy Puddles in a shaky red font. The episode began with Peppa and George playing outside. It was raining, and muddy puddles were everywhere. Peppa's voice sounded unusually deep and distorted, like someone had slowed the audio down. George didn't make his usual giggling sounds. Instead, he just stared blankly at the ground. Peppa said, "Let's jump in the muddy puddles, George." But her tone was flat, almost emotionless. George followed silently. As they jumped, the mud looked different. It wasn't the usual brown. It was dark red, like blood. I told myself it was probably just a glitch in the video file. But something about the scene made me feel uneasy. Then things got worse. Peppa suddenly stopped jumping and looked directly at the camera. Her smile wide but twisted. Her eyes, normally just black dots, had turned a dull white with small red pupils. The screen flickered, and in that brief moment, I saw what looked like something behind her. A shadowy figure with long, bony fingers, barely visible. I rewound the video, but the figure was gone. The scene changed abruptly to Peppa's house. Inside, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig were sitting on the couch, staring at the screen with lifeless expressions. Peppa's voice echoed in the background, but it was distorted, like she was underwater. "They love me so much. They'll never leave." The camera panned to a window, showing the rain pouring outside. Lightning flashed, and in that instant, I saw the same shadowy figure outside, its eyes glowing red. I paused the video, my heart pounding. It felt like the figure was watching me through the screen. I took a deep breath and pressed play again. Peppa suddenly appeared on screen, now standing in front of her parents. Her face was blank, her mouth slightly open. George was nowhere to be seen. The screen went black, and a voice whispered, "It's too late for you. You should have never watched this." The episode cut back to the muddy puddles, but now the red mud was thicker, almost viscous. Peppa looked back at the camera, her eyes fully red, and she whispered, "We all have to jump in someday." The camera zoomed in on the puddles, revealing bones and what looked like pieces of George's dinosaur toy floating inside. Suddenly, my computer screen went black. I tried to restart it, but it wouldn't turn on. When I finally got it working, the red muddy puddles file was gone. It was like it had never existed. I reported it to my manager, but he just looked at me like I was crazy, saying there was never any unaired episodes folder. I haven't watched Peppa Pig since, but sometimes, late at night, I hear whispers outside my window, and when it rains, the puddles look a little too dark, a little too red. I tell myself it's just my imagination, but deep down, I know Peppa is out there, waiting for me to join her in those red muddy puddles.